is anak saya Brahmantya. My student number is 168, and today I will read my answers about unit test ESP. Number 1 is, what is ESP in brief? ESP usually refers to teaching the English language to university students or people already in employment with reference to the particular vocabulary and skills they need. But some people describe ESP as simply being the teaching of English for any purpose that could be specified. Others, however, were more precise, describing it as the teaching of English used in academic studies or the teaching of English for vocational or professional purposes. Number 2 is 3 main reasons to emergence of ESP. First one is the demands of a brave new world. Second is revolution of linguistics, and last one is focus on the learner. The demands of a brave new world. The general effect of all this development was to exert pressures on the language teaching profession to deliver the required goods. Whereas English had previously decided its own destiny, it now became subject to the wishes, needs, and demands of people other than language teacher. Second is revolution in linguistics. In English language teaching, this gave rise to the view that there are important differences between, say, the English of commerce and that of engineer. Most of the work at this time was in the area of English for science and technology, or EST, and for time ESP and EST were regarded as almost synonymous. Number 3 is focus on the learner. New developments in educational psychology also contributed to the rise of ESP by emphasizing the central importance of the learners and their attitude to learning. From E.G. Rogers' 1969, learners were seen to have different needs and interests, which would have an important influence on their motivation to learn and therefore on the effectiveness of their learning. Number 3 is the characteristic of ESP. Absolute characteristic meets specified needs of the learner. Content centered on particular subjects, professions, and social activities, centered on that language which is appropriate to those activities, contrasting with general English. And variable characteristic is restricted as to the language skills to be learned, not taught according to any preordained methodology. And number 4 is procedures of need analysis in ESP. First is determining if the goal is directly related to establishing the purpose of the study specifically in order to determine appropriate outcome. Number 2 is by setting the limits on the target population, the researcher is able to specify the target population of the investigation in order to carry out more pragmatic decisions regarding cost, place, and length of the project. Number 3 is delimiting the framework of examination involves outlining the limitation of the research mainly to increase potency. And the last one is choosing the data collecting device includes picking out proper information, gathering instrument, deciding the data collecting device relies upon the environment, range, and goals of the research. Number 5 is difference characteristic between EGP and ESP. First one is EGP. It is free time task. It has more freedom as compared to the ESP course. It offers a shooting environment. It uses literary text to produce effectual skills in students, and it permits learners to acquire and improve general writing skills. For ESP, it's all based on the learner's requirement. Inspiration related to job. It has particular use of vocabulary. It is taught with the help of presentation and negotiation. It uses different tactics to accomplish its target, and it's all about learner and need goal oriented. For the conclusion is, all I can say that English for specific purpose is language in context. On the other hand, general English is language in seclusion. Both are important for students to attain various skills to move confidently in the modern world. Number 6 is approaches to needs analysis. Number 1 is TSA. Target situation analysis is an analysis that tries to figure out the student's goal in learning a language as the requirements in the target situation. According to Songhori, target situation analysis tries to establish what the students are expected to be like at the end of the language course. Number 2 is PSA. The ESP materials focus on the elements of a sentence such as vocabulary and grammar. Some researchers criticize that ESP materials which produce under the banner of this analysis being monotonic, restrict the analysis of text to the words and sentence level and lack of authenticity. The last one is register analysis. Present situation analysis is to identify what the students are like at the beginning of the language course, which means that PSA could tell us the language proficiency level of the learners about the language at the beginning of the course. And the last one is need analysis is important in ESP. The needs analysis initiates and guides EAP curriculum development, involving surveying the learners to collect data on their background and goals, linguistic and behavioral demands, and preferred learning or teaching strategies. And that's all for me. Thank you for your kind attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.